To understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to do something first. You need to believe in the impossible. Can you do that?
What do you desire that you can't have?
Now you should at least give a brother a moment to say something heroically clever.
You have failed this city.
So I have this thing with rolls?
Just the end of the world.
There's about a dozen ways that I could stop you right now. But I don't think I have to.
You're the boy from the circus.
I started up a security firm.
Finally, a superhero team I can actually get behind.
In the future, my friends may not be heroes, but if we succeed, they will be remembered as legends.
Welcome to the DC TV report for the week ending Saturday, February 22nd, 2020. I'm Little Eddie O'Hare, aspiring professional fanboy.
And I'm Sara Netzley, academic by day, writer by night.
We're here to bring you recaps, news, and commentary for all live-action television shows based on DC Comics.
And we've got 4 new episodes this week.
And we have a very special guest, Barbecue.
Yeah. Oh, can you hear her? Sorry. She just wants to say hey.
I don't think the listeners will hear it, but
she's a big Sue Dibney fan. She just wants to be here to be like, we finally got to see Sue. Really into it.
Oh, hi Sarah. How are you doing?
Hi. Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's been fun. We got Batwoman and Supergirl coming back. Black Lightning took off, but that's fine. We got plenty of DC TV goodness going around, and I'm excited to talk about that. A lot going on. By the way, everyone, thank you for listening. Really, we do appreciate it. And if you haven't had a chance, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, whatever podcast app, if they give you an option to rate and review us, please do. That helps more people find us. Also, if you wanna be extra helpful, we are part of Wicked Theory Studios, which is a Patreon, patreon.com/Wicked Theory. For as little as $1 a month, you could just help us with the overhead, and there's a bonus podcast there for you to listen to, which is Ed Bonds with Bill, where our executive producer Bill Sweeney and I watch James Bond movies. And most recently, we watched Die Another Day. Sarah, do you remember when Madonna did a James Bond theme song?
Do I remember? No. Am I aware of it? Vaguely.
Well, Bill hit me to the fact that it's Madonna trying to be Britney Spears, which is probably why it failed miserably. So yeah. So Sarah, what's going on with you?
Well, I put out a book. My pen name, alter ego Sarah Whitney, has tempting taste out. Reviews are great. Readers love it. So I've been real busy doing day job and then juggling book release stuff. So I had a heck of a week, but it's been a good week. It's been fun hearing from people who are finding my stuff. So yeah.
That's great. Yeah. And that's available as an ebook, right?
It's ebook. It's available at all the major retailers, Amazon, Apple, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, Google Play. Find it anywhere. Yeah.
Cool.
Book 2 in the series, you can read them as a standalone. Book 3 is going to be out next month. So yeah.
Could you give me a quick log line?
Grumpy baker, charms, breezy redhead. Professional baker. Grumpy, doesn't like to talk. Opens his own bakery with reluctantly with a woman who talks 50 words for 5 of his. It's an opposites attract, slow burn romance. It's great. So
sounds like a lot
of cake descriptions. Lots
of cake. All right. All right. So yeah. You want to dive right into the episodes?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. First up is Batwoman, Season 1, Episode 12. Take Your Choice. Kate and co. were scrambling for a solution after Beth and Alice began suffering from cell disintegration because the universe could not handle both of them being alive. Jacob was getting some unwelcome attention in prison. Dr. Ethan Campbell, a renowned plastic surgeon, took a keen interest in Mouse. Last minute reveal: after Beth was shot by August Cartwright, Alice woke up and smacked Kate with a metal tray.
Beth! It was inevitable, but I like how they did it. That was quite a... I mean, we all knew the good Beth was going to go, right?
Yeah. Yes. But the twists that happened in this episode, I mean, I feel like we're already at like Arrow season 6 levels of, if I tried to explain this plot to you on your own, on its own, it would just confuse the heck out of everybody.
They learned from their elders and they just jumped right in.
So there's a sister from another dimension, and then a guy who tortured you who's posing as a plastic surgeon. Like, man. And like, could we start with Dr. Campbell or August Cartwright?
Yeah.
I mean, first off, the whole idea of there's a plastic surgeon who wants to meet Mouse. Okay, that's interesting. And then having like the Mission Impossible face pull reveal that no, I'm actually your dad, who seemingly hasn't aged in like the last 13 years.
Yeah, it was the not eight. Well, he's a plastic surgeon, you know.
Yeah,
keep it tight.
was like wow. I was I was not expecting that, and it felt like it felt kind of soap opera level, but in a delightful way.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, this show is a very dark soap opera, and I say that with genuine enthusiasm. I wondered. Kate was absent for a lot of the action this week, I felt. And I wondered if that was and same on Legends with Captain Lance. And I wondered if that was like a post crossover remnant. Does that make sense?
I mean, it might have been how they shuffled the schedules around. I can certainly see that being the case. Yeah, I think it was just they wanted to put the focus on Beth and Alice,
which was great, and I enjoyed that very much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Plus also the nature of Kate's costume, so that even when Batwoman is in action, it doesn't necessarily have to be, the actress, so they can get away a little bit there. Mm-hmm.
For sure. I enjoyed seeing Sebastian Roche as the pre-face pull dad. He was, of course, one of the originals on The Vampire Diaries, so that was yet another Vampire Diaries connection. I don't know what's happening over there, but yet another one. So
yeah. And he's originally brought in by Sophie to help Jacob with his defense, which doesn't look like it's got a good chance of happening now.
Yep. Awkward. It's awkward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Jacob's like, you wonder, like, okay, this is sort of a cop who's got a lot of people who he's put in prison. You'd think they would have cordoned him off, but he's having a rough go of it, and having to
shivving feels real inevitable there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, he got shivved and then bailed out, but he owes Reggie a favor now. So, God damn it, Reggie!
Use that power responsibly.
And and Kate had a real Sophie's choice here, where it turns out at the end they could save one of them, and she chose to save Beth, but then Beth got killed and Alice survived. I thought that was very well executed.
Executed.
Yes. I thought that was very well done, and I think it really sets up huge consequences for her going forward.
Oh yeah. How do you move forward knowing that your sister chose the other you? If you're obviously that's what's going to happen, but just the Alex Kate dynamic. Well, you chose Beth. Like after every argument, you chose Beth. Can you? Yeah.
Yeah. This is I don't think there's any coming back from that. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like they've reached a number of, is there any coming back from this stages in their relationship? But this time, I feel like there's no coming back from that.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, and just that real choice. I love the dramatic tension that they brought there. I don't know if I would make the same choice though. It was
How so?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's that's the kind of thing. It's this. I mean, I guess it's a Sophie's choice kind of thing. I guess I don't know. To me, I wish that they could have fought and maybe try to figure out a way. And I'm just a little confused as to how this whole cell disintegration thing is working.
Well, yeah, because we have doubles on other shows, right? I guess Supergirl took care of the multiple brainies pretty quickly, but I just this seems to be a unique Batwoman thing. I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like it sets a weird precedent if you wanted to have a double on other shows, And I guess we'll talk about this a little when we get into Flash, because Flash had a situation going on that I think could be in the same vein. But I'm not quite sure how you navigate that. So anyway, Mary.
I thought I was gonna pivot to Luke, but I mean both of them, both were great. I thought they both had interesting things to do. This was not maybe my favorite Mary episode, but that's because my favorite Mary episodes I really, 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 really liked. But she was a little more serious and a little less, party girl with a secret, which is fine. She's allowed to have depths. Anyway, what were you going to say about Mary?
So yeah, I was going to say we had someone on Twitter kind of linked to us named Monitor Earth Prime who posed a question, could Mary become the Arrowverse version of Betty Kane? Who has
I don't know what that means.
It's Kate's cousin.
Okay. And
depending on what era of the comics you're reading, she could be either Batgirl, Flamebird, or Hawkfire. But
I like Flamebird. Nice.
But basically, she ends up becoming Batwoman's sidekick.
Okay.
And could we see Mary put on a costume and fight side by side with Kate?
I would be incredibly open to that proposition.
I think it would be very cool too. All right. All right. Was there any news for Batwoman?
No. Nope.
All right, then we're moving on to Supergirl. Season 5, Episode 12, Back from the Future, Part 2. Wynn delayed his trip home to help Kara and the DEO prevent Toyman's digital hyperconsciousness from escaping to the internet. Brainy continued working with Lex behind Alex's back. Lex offered to help Lena convince Andrea to let L-Corp help develop new obsidian lenses. Kara was skeptical about whether she should start dating William. Last-minute reveal, Kara and Alex got a knock on the door from Mr. Mixius Pitlick.
Is it wrong to say I'm already looking forward to the upcoming episode? This one was fine. This one was fine, but give us Mr. Mixius Pitlick.
Yes.
The highlight of this episode for me was definitely the Luthor sibling exchange, wherein Lex offers to help Lena. Lena says, I don't need to have anybody killed, thanks. And Lex says, I have other skill sets. That I am so glad Lex is back on the show.
Yes, I agree. I think John Cryer is killing it.
He has other skill sets.
Yeah, and he was all over this episode too.
So Andrea's getting played by Lena. Lena's getting played by Lex. Lex is getting played by Gemma. And then Gemma's reporting to the Anointed One, whoever that is, I think, is the wheel of betrayal there.
Yes.
Good times. I like that Lex thinks he's got the upper hand there, but Gemma's on to him. That, to me, is delicious that somebody might have outthought Lex.
Definitely. Yeah. And so all right, Sarah, you're the romance expert. Explain to me this what's going on with Kara and William.
There is an intertextual and then extra-textual explanation. Intratextual, she is grappling with secret identity and, why you can't start a relationship based on a lie, blah, blah, blah. Extra-textual, her chemistry with Katie McGrath / Lena Luthor is fire off the charts, and the show is trying to throw anything they can at her to try to move away from that ship, and nothing is sticking because those two ladies together really truly are incendiary. So they're trying a hot British guy, and I'm not sure it's working. They tried James Olsen with Lena. That super didn't work. They're just like, please stop with the Supercorp stuff. We just want these ladies to be straight. I mean, that to me is really what that feels like.
Oh,
so,
okay.
I don't know if you spend a lot of time on Supergirl Twitter, but Supergirl Twitter is passionate mini corners about Lena and Kara. Anyway, but the serious answer is, we saw it coming, right? We saw it coming from the first moment of antagonism that, this is going to be a turnaround on this character into it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, here's the thing. You say you're not sure it's working. So, do you think William and Kara are going to be a long-term thing, or is it probably going to be done by the end of the season?
I suspect it'll be done by the end of who knows? That's a good question. I don't know. The show has such pushback from fans when they bring in a love interest for Kara in a way that's really interesting. I feel like she's never had a good love interest the way all the male leads on the other DC shows on the CW do. Barry and Iris, Oliver, and I know Felicity was not controversial, especially with comic fans, but they all have managed to have good love interests. But Kara so far, honestly, Lena's the best one. I hate to say it, but I don't hate to say it. I just know it's not canonical. So I don't know what to expect. I wish they could crack the code. I wish they could figure out how to do it, because it's weird to me that they can't make a woman work in a relationship. That said, I don't know that William... doesn't she need somebody a little more super? Or does she need her Lois? I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, because in the comics, I can't really think of a long-term boyfriend that she's had in the comics. Because usually those her stories are more action-oriented. I mean, even when she's been a member of the Legion of Superheroes, there was probably some like teen drama. I think she might have gone out with Brainiac 5 for a while. But nothing that really like stands out to me. This is something I should probably look into and read more up on. But yeah, it's I wonder if that's because it's not an integral part of the source material, that's why they're having trouble finding someone to match with her.
And that's so interesting to me, though, because I don't think I'm wrong that most of the big male comic properties have that sort of main love interest. I guess Batman, I mean, Catwoman, obviously, but I don't know that she's always. But Superman always has Lois, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Batman has a revolving door of girlfriends like Vicky Vale and um, Jill St. John. But basically what I'm saying is like Supergirl does not have a Steve Trevor. She doesn't have like a go-to guy who's always in her supporting cast.
Yeah, that's true. You've got Wonder Woman. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Woman and Steve. That was just me kind of thinking through the broader social cultural implications of Supergirl not having that sort of her Guy Friday kind of thing. When a lot of the male, it's just weird that I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's also because she's meant to be like a teenager or in her early 20s.
Okay,
and dating.
all right. Anyway, that was a long walkabout to your question. I feel like William doesn't have the dynamism that I would want for somebody to be a long-term partner for Kara/Supergirl, but I trust this show, and they generally tend to land the emotional things pretty well, if not the logic of some of the science and alien things. So, I'm open to seeing him stick around, I guess. I don't know. What do you think? Would you want him to linger?
I'm not so sure. I think it feels a little forced.
We get back to the extra textual again. Yeah.
I'm not opposed to her having a love interest, but I just don't think William's it right now.
Yeah.
I much prefer kind of like the professional rivalry. And to me the whole like pushing it into a romance just feels it doesn't feel like a natural progression for me.
Yeah. Counterpoint, the karaoke was cute.
Yeah. Yes, the karaoke was cute.
I like that when they have her sing on the show, they don't have her sing as well as she can sing. I mean, we know she can sing better than that.
Yeah.
But when they have her sing, yeah, it's adorable.
And I guess the real crux of this episode was Win. We didn't really mention.
Yeah.
Him confronting his dad, even if it was his dad in digital form. And sort of facing an evil version of everything he was scared he was going to become. I think that was a great emotional arc for that character. And it's weird just because Wynn's been away from the show for so long that just to get these 2 episodes, it does feel like it's a nice way to wrap up his character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. I was really glad to have him back. I wish I don't have as many memories of Wynn and Toyman from earlier seasons. That's not a storyline that really stuck with me. So this resonated a little less for me. But I'm glad that he got to, grapple with that. And his dad said he was proud of him, which was nice. Also, somebody clearly has been reading Ender's Game, because there was some battle room. There is no up or down shit in that. So thank you for being the person who gets that. I figured you'd be the good audience for that.
Yes.
But no, I mean, really, once Wynn figured out, like, oh, okay, there's no, all right. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and long-term implications. Alex resigned her position.
And she's just going to hang out at the tower with John? Is there a salary? Are there benefits? Does she get a company car? I have questions.
Yeah, this is the part of superhero stories that you can't really question. It's kind of like, how can Hal Jordan hold down an apartment when he's running through space 10 months out of the year?
Well, isn't he the one? You're the one who said last week, right, that he just would come home and be evicted?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But like Jeff Johns would throw that in one issue and then not mention it for like a year and a half.
Oh.
So...
You get realism once every 50 weeks. It's fine.
But so yeah, it's it's gonna be interesting. But I think more so, Brainy is the new director, and it seems like he's even more in Luthor's pocket. So where does this go from here?
I need these secrets to stop really soon.
Yeah, you could tell it's really killing Brainy. It's really yeah. Well, we'll see what episode 100 brings. Although that
hijinks.
Feels... Yes.
Hijinks is what it's going to bring.
Tom Lennon is great casting for that part.
Yes, I'm very excited. Very excited.
All right. Was there any news for Supergirl?
Nope.
All right. On to The Flash. Season 6, episode 12, A Girl Named Sue. Iris found herself trapped in a mirror dimension with a stir-crazy Ava McCulloch. Ralph finally found Sue Dearbon and discovered she was playing a cat-and-mouse game with her arms-dealing ex-boyfriend. Joe asked Barry for help investigating some suspicious house fires. Last-minute reveal, Sue looked closely at the diamond she stole and found an inscription of the black hole symbol.
All right, Ed, it happened. Let us have it. What did you think?
It was amazing. It was amazing. This was a great episode. I thought I thought the chemistry between Natalie Dreyfus and Hartley Sawyer was electric. Just...
And you say I'm the romance one. Come on. You're correct. You're absolutely correct.
Yes, I thought it was great. You could just feel it, and then Cecile kind of just like butting her head in and be like, "Wow, you guys are like really together." And then that turn, Sarah. Oh.
Did you see it coming, or did it catch you off guard?
I had no idea. I was so love struck. I was just so happy that these two were having such great chemistry, and then it was a real punch in the gut. I was devastated. I was on the floor, just inconsolable, and I really applaud. I really applaud the writers and the actors for how they pulled that off.
Well, and I felt the opposite. That just makes me even more excited to see how this all breaks down, because how delicious when they do get together, it will all be. I concur with everything. She was delightful. Their chemistry was delightful. Ralph's sort of befuddled joy in her presence was so great. Yeah, that I loved them bickering behind his big inflated hand under a hail of bullets. They were perfect. It was lovely. Yeah, right from the beginning of the episode when they first encounter each other, just their back and forth, their repartee, and it really had kind of like a Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall vibe to it. And the music. I mean, the soundtrack made us go there with that kind of gumshoe music. Yes. Yeah, and I was really impressed. I think she's a very well developed character. Sue is, that kind of like this smart housewife who's even smarter than her genius detective husband. And this put a whole new spin on that. And I really want to see, because you could tell that there was a little bit of regret in that she had to burn Ralph. And I can't wait to see what happens when they encounter each other again. Same. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm suddenly more invested in this on The Flash than anything else. Including my favorite Harrison Wells. So Oh yeah. Well, it's funny because of your frustrations with Iris's journalistic career.
I'm really wondering if Sarah, are you really rooting for her to get out of that mirror?
I feel so bad. But I mean, I like Barry and Iris love each other, and I'm happy for them. So I want Care Bear to be happy, but more importantly, friend of the pod and permanent resident of my heart, Tanya Melendez, messaged me last night to say, have you recorded your podcast yet? And I said, no. She said, I need you to spend some time on the fact that woman has been in the mirror dimension for half a decade by herself and is still in high heels and a blouse, sweatpants, unwashed hair in a ponytail, slippers. Like, who would, you're alone and you're in a button-up blouse and heels? No, sir. No. The instant I get home from work, I'm out of that stuff. Forget about being trapped in a... Yeah. So she's right, of course. I just need to point that out. It was very strange.
I mean, maybe there are no other clothes around.
Then honestly, take off your pants and go pantsless. Go barefoot. Maybe it's cold in there. I don't know. Fashion shoes out of Kleenex boxes. Anything is better than high heels for 6 years when you're alone. It's nonsensical.
Okay.
Staple together the papers in your office setting to form some sort of crude garment. That would be better than tight-waisted business pants. That's all. That's not what we're here to talk about, though.
Okay. So yeah. So whoever that imposter is, was trying to steal the mirror gun, from Star Labs, and Nash Wells, pretty much caught her, and Nash having his own visions. So I'm confused. So Nash Wells, is Harrison Wells from Earth 2 in his head, or is that just guilt tripping?
Was hoping you could explain that to me.
Okay.
I think it's guilt trip, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But why would he know? I don't know.
Well, maybe when the new universe was born and it merged everything from the other universes, maybe somehow Harrison from Earth 2 Wells was in transit or something, or because he's so smart, or because, they were so in tune with the other Wells, maybe the Council of Wells are living inside Nash's head. I don't know.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I mean, that could be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was curious about that. Not curious enough to do any actual reading up on it, but vaguely curious about that. Yes, I will say the Iris imposter is doing a good job of impersonating Iris. Sometimes when you have evil doppelgangers, it's a lot more obvious that they're shifty-eyed villains. This Iris, I don't feel like Barry's a dum-dum for not noticing, because she's doing a good job. I thought that's a fun component.
Yes. I'm just confused as to who the hell that is.
Yes.
And I'm waiting for that explanation, which I hope comes soon.
I assume she will have a Mission Impossible style mask that comes off like everybody else this week.
Maybe we'll see. All right. Is there anything that we missed in this episode? Anything pressing that you think we need to discuss?
I don't think so. Just yay Sue.
News for the Flash?
Yes, we have news. Wally West will be back on the show, episode 14, airing March 3rd. And when he returned, Keena Lonsdale says that Wally West has grown and deepened in his time away, so he's kind of a new Wally.
Oh, okay.
So buckle up for that.
All right then. So yeah. Then on to our final show for this week, which is DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Season 5, Episode 5, Ahead of Her Time. Sara left Ava in charge, and Zari tagged along with the legends to 1793, where Marie Antoinette was hosting a never-ending party. Constantine faced hard truths as he confronted the ghost of Astrid's mother, Natalie. At last-minute reveal, Astrid made the coin maker turn the screw, and John began convulsing.
Ed, if you knew cake was going to kill you, would you still think about eating the cake? Because I'm going to answer right now I would.
You think about it? Yeah.
I mean, like, that looked like good cake.
Yeah, it did. Man, but that was a lot of dancing. Those clothes did not look comfortable.
No.
Yeah, just that whole French Revolution thing. I think I probably would have bailed.
I actually prodded Jason with, would we have been guillotined? I feel like we would have been guillotined. He did not appreciate that conversation.
Yeah. It makes me wonder where Robespierre was around. Was around this time. Did Marie Antoinette come back and immediately have him killed? Like, what's the deal there?
Let's assume.
Yeah. So we have Marie Antoinette, who is a dead ringer for Nora Dark. Who would have thought?
What a surprise! And clearly, having the time of her life playing that character.
Oh yes, yeah, and I'm sure that may even be it. It might have been just, that actress just went to the producer and said, "Hey, I see you're doing Marie Antoinette. Can I just play her?" And they'll be, "Oh, sure, why not?"
I mean, it's Legends. Why not?
And why did Sara have to leave? Why did she leave?
I'm telling you,
charge?
the crossover. It made no sense to me, which made me think there had to be some kind of alternate filming requirement that she was needed for.
Yes, yeah, and yeah, so Ava was smart this week.
I knew I had this thought, like, Ed's gonna complain about it. No, I think it's just part of her development. Not complain, comment upon.
Yes.
Just part of her development, She's getting
yes. Yeah, and I do like how she pulled the binders and immediately tried to corporatize the legends. And I thought Bayrod's example of the comparisons were foxes, not hedgehogs, was very, very creative and apt. Yeah, I thought that was funny explaining that. Yeah, just another bonkers episode, ending with Zari's perfume line. And I'm not as plugged into social media as you are, Sara. So maybe you could tell me if a big name celebrity, like, let's say, Kylie Jenner, launched a line of perfumes that destroyed the sense of smell of anyone who sprayed it on them, would that be like a big deal? Would that
yeah, I think so. Yes. We are a litigious society, and yes it would. There is a kind of, I shouldn't say minor, but who is it? The influencer who had some mascara line that was being shipped out with mold or something harmful.
Ooh.
That, yeah. So, it kind of has happened on smaller levels, just not with anybody quite that big. But yeah, I feel like that would be a pretty big scandal. Also, can this be a Jenner-free zone?
Yeah, we could do that. Certainly. Yeah, no. I was just, they're the only influencers I know.
Yeah, that's fair.
That and the guy from Fire Fraud. That's
I really, 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 really liked Zari this week. This was very fun to see her use her smarts and her savvy to navigate. Also, I'm just a sucker for costumes, and her dress was amazing.
Yeah, yeah, and I thought it was a good example of how, even though she's very different from the Zari that we knew in previous seasons, she's still just as smart. And her ingenuity in this episode, I thought was very impressive.
Yeah, I adore that. I adore that she's using her intelligence in the direction that it grew and was cultivated, but you can still see the same. The roots are still there. Also, I've been watching a lot of Schitt's Creek, and it reminds me a little bit of the Alexis type of smart, where it's party girl socialite, but savvy and can get things done, which I enjoyed very much.
Yes.
And can I say that was a really good donut at the end? That donut was choice.
Yeah. And does she remember everything now? Like, what's the
I think I might wait for news for this. Well, it's not really spoilers. The showrunners talked about temporal memories. That's not going to be the only time she has that, but they didn't really straight up answer will she get her memories back. But that was not the last time we'll see that temporal echo basically of her. So I'm excited for that too. I like the implication that she might remember. I think I like that. Honestly, if they wanted to keep this story around forever, I'd also be very into that.
Yeah. Also, I mean, speaking of the past and learning about past, Constantine, we got a little bit more backstory on him this week. Yes, him running around with Natalie and the Newcastle crew. And the real reason that he tried to help resurrect her was because he kind of had a thing for her.
Which, John Constantine's love life is rich and varied.
Yeah. And to me, that one flashback of, Natalie giving him the ultimatum and him ultimately choosing magic, that is like a perfect example of that's John Constantine the bastard. That is that character to a T. Where he can't even let himself be happy. Yeah. Yeah, as far as that storyline, I was a little frustrated that we didn't see as much of Natalie the ghost, that a lot of times it was just like them just this beam of light that was running around the room and him explaining to everyone else what was happening.
Yeah, now that you mention it, yeah. I think I'm struggling a little bit with this storyline because it feels so removed from everything else. I know it's not. I know that she's the reason for the current mayhem that they're trying to track down, but I just feel like he's off doing his own thing, and it's almost like two shows grafted together.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. But all right. Yeah, I could definitely see that. But you could tell that, within the next couple of episodes they're going to start slowly bringing all of that together.
Yeah.
And Astrid. So, like, I mean, if Constantine dies, I don't know what the legends do from here. Like, this is damn.
I mean, Constantine's not going to die, though.
Yeah, I mean, she turned that screw and he was convulsing and it wasn't looking good.
That's a lot of blood from the mouth. You know what that means in Hollywood terms? Death.
All right. Anything more to talk about for this episode?
Ray accidentally told Nora he loves her. That's all.
Oh, yes. Because that's a thing. I always, that's a thing. Okay.
It's a thing. Let it be a thing.
All right. So, no news for Legends, right?
Correct.
All right. On to news for other shows.
Okay. We have
Superman
and Lois.
Superman and Lois music.
There's a promo poster out in the world. Bitsy Tulloch shared on social media a promo poster congratulating Supergirl on the 100th episode that's coming up this week. And it shows her as Lois in a kind of black spangly dress standing in front of a big velvet curtain that looks like Superman's cape. It was weird. There, it was just a very strange choice to congratulate Supergirl, the show, with. And I wanted more Superman to go with my Lois, but okay, Lois in a party dress is sure.
Yeah, why not?
Sure. So that's happening, and still nothing about Green Arrow and the Canaries. That is So, all right. Moving on to Doom Patrol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we haven't heard about that in a while, but Matt Bomer is on season 3 of The Sinner, and as part of the promo for that, he got asked about Doom Patrol by Collider, and he said season 2 is going to still be that absurdist, abstract sensibility that I think, Ed, you and I really responded to, but they're also going to be digging deeper into characters and their pasts, and that he's doing a lot of heavy stuff in season 2 as well. So that also feels really in keeping with Doom Patrol's vibe, and I am so excited for the show to come back. I did not see a date, so we're still waiting on that.
Okay, yeah, and it's kind of funny because I feel like that's already. I feel like a lot of season 1 was we'd find a reason for everyone to get knocked out and go into Space World and interact with their backstory. So
yeah, the fact that he said it's going to be even deeper, I'm actually a little worried that could be kind of heavy. Yeah, it was already pretty heavy. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Moving on to DMZ on music. HBO Max. New casting. Freddie Miares is going to play a gang leader sharpshooter fella. I'm sure fella is never used in the show or in the script. But he was on When They See Us, which is also an Ava DuVernay project. So she's working with someone she's worked with in the past, which I always appreciate when you see a showrunner who sort of finds somebody who clicks and keeps using that person. So that cast is shaping up. It sounds like that show is moving full speed ahead.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he will be, I believe, in the gang with Benjamin Bratt. So.
Okay.
And last news of the week is for the Sandman. That's a lot of shows that we don't have opening credits for yet.
You're right.
Pausing to let you sing. All right. So we have a couple casting breakdowns for the Sandman on Netflix. We have a breakdown for Morpheus.
Okay,
and they are looking for, they're looking for a man aged 25 to 34, any ethnicity. Morpheus is tall and thin with bone white skin, black hair, and 2 stars in place of eyes. He is meticulous in the pursuit of his duties, but slow to understand humor and can occasionally be insensitive. He is often self-obsessed and slow to forgive a slight. Ed, does that sound pretty accurate?
That sounds like Morpheus, and it really confuses to me as why he was every goth girl's dream boy. With that
I haven't even read The Sandman, and I read that description and I'm like, yep, nope, I see it. I get it. Yes. A guy who has no sense of humor and is easily offended. Just and stars for eyes.
Well, there we go.
Don't forget that. The second breakdown is for the Corinthian, which is being described as a sexy villain. A white actor between 30 and 35 is being sought. Fans of the series will recall that the Corinthian first appeared in Sandman number 10. Now, I get a sense that this is different than the comic.
Yeah, sexy is an odd descriptor for the Corinthian. So okay, they're probably going in a different direction. I'm guessing it seems like this first season is probably going to be an adaptation of the first 2 books, which are Preludes and Nocturnes and The Glass House. So okay, but the Corinthian is a major villain in the Sandman. So it's the fact that they're bringing him in, yeah, I'm interested now. I just want to see the show. Um, but interesting choice of words for that description.
Well, and I am excited to. I'll be excited to get casting news on this.
Yes, and we'll have to keep a lookout for that.
Yeah.
All right, and that's all the news, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right. So, wow, we did the episode. That means now it's time for our winners of the week. Sarah, do you want to go first, or should I go first?
You go first because we probably have the same one, and then I can zag when you zig.
Okay, all right. So I mean, if we have the same one, if you just want to say one word, we could maybe try to time it out.
3, 2, 1.
Sue.
Sue.
Yeah, Sue Dearbon is our winner for the week, played by Natalie Dreyfus. Yeah, she was charming and entrancing, and turned out she was also dangerous, and not to be trusted. Oh, incredible episode. I love a heist.
I love a heist. And I don't know what kind of chemistry reads they did with those two actors before they chose the Sue actress, but whatever they did worked because the vibe between Sue and Ralph was just perfect.
Yep. All right. So Sue Dearbon, our winner for the week, our mutual winner for the week.
Doesn't happen often.
Doesn't happen very often. I think the last time it was Miss Tessmacher. But yeah, that's the DC TV report for this week. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Lil O'Hare.
I'm at Sara Netzley, SaraNetzley.
And follow the show on Twitter at DCTV Report. Send along your emails to dctv@wickedtheory.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our show on your podcast app of choice and rate and review us. That helps more people find us. Check out our sister show, the Wicked Theory Podcast. This has been a Wicked Theory Studios production. Executive producer, Bill Sweeney. Visit us at wickedtheory.com. Shazam, everybody.
Shazam.
Shazam.